Taking a look at the top story at 7 o'clock, suspended ANC Youth League President Julius Malema will greet members of the Provincial Congress in Polokwane this afternoon. Suspended ANC Youth League President Julius Malema will greet members of the Provincial Congress in Polokwane this afternoon. Speaking during the opening session of the Congress last night, League Secretary General Sindiso Makaka said Malema would not officially address the meeting, but they would allow the almost 1,000 delegates to greet him at an undisclosed location. Earlier, the delegates disrupted proceedings demanding that Malema address them. Malema was suspended by the ANC and forbidden to neither address nor attend any ruling party and league gatherings. Makaka explains.
Now, we must play very careful. But in other gatherings, the president will address the gatherings of the Youth League. But this one, we can't put you to that danger. This is in the best interest of this province.
A traffic officer has been shot and killed allegedly by a minibus taxi driver in Hillbrow in Johannesburg. The shooting took place late yesterday after a group of traffic officers from the Gauteng Community Safety Department stopped a taxi because it was unroadworthy. SABC senior specialist reporter Melanie Moses has the details.
It's another senseless killing. The officers stopped the taxi and removed the vehicle's disc, preventing it from operating because the vehicle was unroadworthy. They got into their vehicle and were ready to drive off. But then, the unexpected. The taxi driver allegedly pulled out his gun and began firing at the back of the car, hitting a traffic officer sitting in the back seat. The officer was wounded and died on arrival at hospital. The taxi driver ran into a nearby flat, but was later arrested. His 9mm pistol was also confiscated. The traffic officer was just 31 years old and leaves behind a 5-month-old baby. Melanie Moses, SABC News, Johannesburg.
KwaZulu-Natal Transport MEC Willie Mchunu is to investigate the use of blue lights by all MECs, mayors and even councillors. Yesterday he tabled guidelines and regulations on the usage of blue lights in the provincial legislature. This follows a tragic accident on the N2 outside Kwamsane Township in northern KwaZulu-Natal earlier this week. Former SABC journalist Tim Ngube and the driver of a VIP protection vehicle escorting Zulu King Goodwill's Welitini, which had its blue light flashing, died in a head-on collision. This accident renewed the controversial debate on the use of blue lights, with many appealing to government to review the use of these convoys to escort VIPs. Further afield, a passenger plane has crashed in Pakistan close to the capital Islamabad, killing all 127 people on board. The aircraft was on an internal flight from Karachi. The BBC's Ali Makbul reports.
At the hospital, ambulances arrived from the site in a sad procession, carrying only the remains of those who'd been killed, no survivors. Relatives of many of the flight's passengers waited, but there was no good news. Flight B4213 from Karachi got into trouble just minutes before it was due to land. The airline Boja Air says bad weather was the cause of the crash, and a brief but violent thunderstorm had hit the area at the time. There's even a suggestion the plane was struck by lightning.
Back home, President Jacob Zuma has married for the 6th time, taking his longtime fiancée Bongi Ngema as his newest bride and 4th current wife in a private ceremony at his home in Nkandla in KwaZulu-Natal. Ngema, an activist and former information technology worker, has already accompanied the president on foreign visits. President Zuma has 21 children, including a 7-year-old son with Ngema. The president is also married to Sizakele Zuma, Nompumelelo Ntuli Zuma and Tobeka Madiba Zuma. They all attended yesterday's wedding ceremony. And finally, achievers in the Afrikaans language in the print and electronic media have been recognized at the ATKV Media Awards in Midrand. The event, which high-profile media personalities attended, saw deserving finalists walk away with awards. The SABC's Afrikaans radio station RSG dominated the awards as usual. TV and radio personality Lynette Francis, who was nominated 3 times, was amongst the big winners, walking away with 2 awards. She had this to say.
So it kind of does feel a sense of completion and recognition also for your work and your efforts and for the vision that you have to be more inclusive and to allow a variety of voices, because that's important for me as a presenter, to represent everybody.